Macmillan Audio presents The Path of Anger by Antoine Rouaud, translated from the French by Tom Clegg, read for you by Michael Kramer. Part 1. 1. A Scent of Lavender. There comes a day in every life, a meeting point of what we were, what we are, and what we will be. At that moment, as all things draw to a close, we decide our fate, proud or ashamed of the road traveled. Es it alai, es it ala en. Es it alarai. What you were, what you are, what you shall be. It was the port city's motto. Its true meaning mattered little when even the humblest traveler knew the saying without ever visiting the city. Here in the south of the former kingdoms, Masalia had always been the city where all things were possible. Possible because positioned far from the Imperial capital, at the end of the world, it represented the last outpost of civilization before the so far unexplored expanse of the Western Ocean. Large numbers of trading ships ventured from its port, sailing to the Sudi's Islands or following the coastline to the cities of the north. And possible because Masalia had been conquered so many times by so many kingdoms that it no longer possessed an architecture it could call its own. Each neighborhood bore the traces of its successive rulers, from the tall square towers of the Aztec period with their characteristic dragon horn crowns, to the proud mansions of the Caliere dynasty and their flower-filled balconies, not to mention the three cathedrals of the Fangolin faith, two of which had been built on the still smoking remains of pagan temples. In this city it mattered little where you came from, who you were, or what you might become. Masalia was the product of the history of all the former kingdoms. As the saying went, rich or poor, weak or powerful, you who are fleeing from other parts of the world, rest assured that here, at the crossroads of peoples, you shall find what you are seeking. Nothing could dampen the hopes and dreams evoked by the mere mention of Masalia, not the heavy rain pouring down upon the red-tiled rooftops, not the mud it carried along the gutters and the narrow alleys, and not even the worn stone facade of this particular tavern, from whose open windows came the muffled sounds of men drinking. "Are you sure this is the place?" asked a hoarse voice. From beneath her ample hood, Viola peered at the tavern door. A few raindrops slid slowly down her round spectacles, blurring the brightly lit windows. She nodded, stepped forward, and her boots sank into the mud with an unpleasant squelch. Her slender shadow, which fell across the wooden door, was suddenly engulfed by the much larger one of the person walking behind her. She hesitated, her hand poised over the heavy iron door handle. Trickles of rain ran over the black metal flecked with rust. "You who are fleeing from other parts of the world." There was no going back now. Her mouth was terribly dry, but there was no question of giving up at this stage. The sound of her companion clearing his throat drew her out of her reverie. With a brusque gesture, she seized the handle and pressed down. "Rest assured that here you shall find what you are seeking." The fresh air they brought in with them dissipated quickly in the coils of acrid smoke which rose up to the ceiling, while the rhythmic drumming of the raindrops on the ground outside almost vanished beneath the hubbub of loud voices, bursts of laughter, and the clinking of tankards. A bolt of lightning briefly silhouetted the massive shoulders and bald skull of the man with her. He closed the door behind him before following in Viola's footsteps and emerging into the light cast by the oil lamps. A serving wench came to a sudden halt, almost dropping her tray as she saw the tattoos covering his olive skin.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?